All right. S2 TV, Script Sundays TV gang. Welcome back to episode 3 of Comedian Gameplay Commentary. I'm your host, Hayward Crawford, comedy writer. Here, my boy Gad Holland, representing the Ball Beard Gang. And we're back for episode 3. First episode of 2023. So happy New Year to everybody. Hope you had a good holidays, all that good jazz, New Year, new me, all that crap. But now we're here to get back to it. We got some titles where, we want to obviously kind of, reminisce through video games of our childhood and, up until now. So we're going to just hop right into it. Once again, if you guys have want to call in, we're live streaming on Twitch. This will be up later on YouTube. And basically, if you want to make a contribution, we got our ways you can contribute to us. Feel free to follow us at Script Sundays TV. And hopefully I'll be able to figure out this thing soon enough to where we get live stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. All right, so Gad, how you doing out there? Well, happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year, man. I'm doing good, man. How's everything
All
going with you?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. Just staying busy. Wasn't able to make it through to Detroit for the holidays, but at the same time, do what you got to do. But still ready out here to grind. Keep going at it. So, Gad, why don't you give us some perspective or kind of intro us to our first title we have here, Def Jam Fight Night for NY. Tell us a little bit about this game. I'm familiar with the Def Jam Vendetta series, the first one. So we can kind of reminisce on it as well, but feel free to put me on this one.
Okay, this one. Okay, if you're familiar with Fight Def Jam Vendetta, this is basically the part 2 of that. It takes in story, it takes place right after the end of Vendetta. So it's like a continuation. They took this is one of my favorite games ever. So the games I picked today, I was thinking of games that I played a lot, but I would be really interested to see if they remade it with today's people, how the game would look. So the games I picked, it'd be interesting to see what would translate to nowadays.
So this is really quick. We're picking up a little background.
Is that coming from me?
It might be. Let me double check.
It should be me because I'm using earbuds.
Okay, no, it's good. I had to cut. Yeah, we're good. We're good now. I had to turn one of the tabs off.
Gotcha.
Yep, we're good though.
Okay. So Def Jam. So this one it comes in right after like Vendetta. So it's got most of the same characters, most of the same wrestlers, and then they add characters and rappers, and they added a bunch of other ones. So Vendetta was basically a wrestling game with rappers in it. This one is more like a street fighting game with rappers in it. Like even the arenas, like right now we're watching, they're literally fighting in a bar with a bunch of people around. So it was more centered around like an underground fighting thing. And when you're story mode going through, like you're going to different parts of New York, so you're in the map and you got to go to Brooklyn, or you got to go to the Queens, or you got to go somewhere in Manhattan to go take care of whatever the next mission is. And so then they had, you would create your character and go through the story mode, but then they had a gang of rappers. Most of them were Def Jam signed, but it wasn't all that. But it wasn't all Def Jam rappers, but it was, it's a Def Jam gang, so the majority of them are from that. But there's some legends. There's a couple of actors. There's just famous people just in here as well. So for no reason, Henry Rollins is your coach. He's your fighting coach. So this guy, Danny Trejo, is one of the villains. So
Fat Joe.
They just Fat Joe, that son of a bitch. He's one of the hardest people in the whole game. Like when you fight Fat Joe, it's basically like a boss level. And he is crazy strong. Like he's one of the hardest people in the game. Out of nowhere, just Fat Joe. But then they'll have a rapper that's clearly, we all know whoever the rapper is, and they'll just give him a nickname. Like I forgot what Fat Joe's name is in this game, but it's not Fat Joe. It's something completely different. And like Buster Rhymes isn't Buster Rhymes. It's like
Mm.
Bones or something. I was like, this is Buster Rhymes. And
Now
then
Snoop
Omar
Dogg is
Epps is in the
Bones.
game. Oh,
Omar
he's
Epps.
Crow or something. Yeah, Omar Epps is like one of the first people you find in this game. So Omar Epps is another. So I think I haven't played this maybe 12, 15
Bro,
years last time I played this, but uh it was like you would fight against a bunch of like just characters that the developers made, and then after a few of those, you would fight like a real rapper as like a boss of an area. Or like or like who's in charge. So like you ran through a bunch of people to get to Sean Paul. You know what I mean? But
oh,
the first named person I think the first named person you got to was Omar Epps,
mm,
but he wasn't Omar Epps. He was Omar
right.
Epps as OE was his nickname. Just name him Omar Epps. That's the laziest nickname to name just his initials. So Dub C is another guy you fight against. And all their special moves is they're just over the top comical. But the one thing I realized is this game came out at a time in hip hop when everybody had a workout program. Like every rapper was big back, like early 2000s. Every rapper was in the gym. Every rapper was huge.
Yep.
Like nowadays, that's not really a thing anymore. Like it's tough to find like a big, strong like rappers. It just like rappers don't fight anymore. They just shoot. So like working on like your weightlifting isn't a requirement anymore because a
Hmm.
lot of them ain't fighting no more. So they
Yeah,
just
you ain't gotta look tough or play tough.
no.
But
You
you
don't have to
still
look
beat
tough.
them.
You just have to be armed. You just and a lot of them are out of the South, so they all just armed to the teeth. But this game had a lot of licenses in it, so there was, like Sean John, I think had a contract on here. Jordan, like
Mm.
you could get a bunch of different pairs of Jordans on here. This character right here, he's got a Jordan. Like some of these are like real clothes that you could have bought at some time. Fat Farm had a contract, clearly Fat Farm, because that's Russell Simmons along with Def Jam. So it was
Yeah.
so Jacob the Jeweler is in this game. Uh I think after you beat it, you can unlock him as a wrestler, but you had to go talk to him to go buy some jewelry. Like you would earn money from the matches. You would earn money from the matches. You had to go buy a chain. It was like, and I'm almost certain that style was was like a factor for your characters, like upper body strength, lower body strength, speed, and then like charisma. So you had to put together an outfit with some jewelry on it, or else wouldn't nobody like you.
Yeah,
It
I
was
was
a
gonna
whole
comment.
yeah.
It's damn near like a nonstop commercial. I'm seeing some
Oh
outfits and
yeah.
stuff I used to
Oh
rock
it,
like back in the
oh
day.
yeah. This PlayStation 2 was an era of they would there Omar Epps' OE. Look at that.
Mm.
So um so there was times where like this era, this PlayStation 2 era where you would just have a game, especially out I want to say EA made this. Yeah, EA did make this. So this is another EA, and EA was just they were just making extra contracts with whatever they could. So they make a game like Need for Speed. If you played any Need for Speed in this, like the Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Most Wanted, all those PlayStation 2 Need for Speed games,
Hmm.
when you're racing around the city, you be driving by real places. Like, remember Crazy Taxi? It was a Taco Bell in it. Like,
Yep. Hmm.
Crazy Taxi had a real Taco Bell. So these games had all of that. So it would be times like you had to race to a Blockbuster, like that was or race to a Best Buy, and then you had to upgrade the sound system in your Civic or whatever in the Need for Speed game. And these games were just walking. These were just walking commercials. So yeah, Omar Epps as OE, and it's just Omar Epps with no shirt on, which is so some of these are just funny characters. And oh, what was my point? Yeah, they were walking billboards, so it was like the clothes you were wearing. You could turn this game off, go to Macy's, and probably put your character's outfit together.
Like, ooh, I
Like you
like
could
that. Little flip,
I do like
little
that
flip.
Sean John little tank top. I'm gonna go get that in some lug boots. Like you could really have a
Mm-hmm.
whole Brooklyn outfit.
All right. And also
Actually,
too,
I
Cat.
had that shirt, but I had the black one on the character I played with. And
Yeah, I want to comment too. I think you're
yeah,
picking up a little bit of feedback. I don't know if it's the earbuds, but it's kind of like a little staticky feedback. But
okay,
while you may be trying to adjust that, I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, Def Jam Vendetta. I remember when it first dropped, it was so legendary. And I don't
oh
even
yeah,
recall if the first one really had a story mode like this. This is kind of 2004. So it's like we're coming out of post GTA 3, post Vice City, really
mm-hmm,
huge. But I don't know if San Andreas it just came out yet. So obviously
mm-hmm,
there's a little bit of influence because you got like the city map, and all of a sudden there's
oh yeah.
mission. I don't remember anything about that from the first Def Jam Vendetta. So I don't know. Was that new? Was that
I want to
story
say that's new.
new?
Like I don't remember. See, the Vendetta didn't. I don't think Vendetta was this in depth. I think it was more just kind of built as just a wrestling game.
Mm-hmm.
And this, so everyone, like hands down, they all say that the Fight for New York was a better one. It had a better story, and the mechanics were better because they pretty much took the fighting style from the old wrestling games from the N64. So like the WCW, NWO World Tour, the Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, that fighting style where it was weak and strong strikes and weak and strong grapples, that exact same fighting mechanics are from this game. So they're really easy to grasp, really easy to understand and get going with them. Even just flicking the stick back and forth to activate your special. I mean, it's the exact same mechanics on here. So this was
Ooh.
real easy to kind of get into it, but when you got good at it, you were unstoppable. If you had a good combination, you had to adopt different fighting styles, and if you
Max
put certain
10.
ones, if you had certain combinations, you were untouchable. Like it was certain like they had kickboxing, wrestling, submissions, street fighting. Street fighting was always the most dangerous one because
Imagine
like
so.
it was the most dangerous because like you could knock somebody out kind of at the drop of a hat. Just a heavy punch could put you down if your health was low enough. Would be an instant KO. No special move, no nothing. Just a straight right hand to put you down. So they were always the most dangerous. But kickboxing were scary because if they put you in like a Muay Thai clinch, you could just whittle their health down from half to empty. So all these different fight styles were good, and the crowd was a weapon. So you could push
So,
somebody into the crowd.
what do you mean by that? You
Yeah,
can throw them
like
into the crowd start beating them up.
yeah, like okay. So Balloon, the guy that's holding the pool stick, I would push
Yeah.
you into him, and the guy with the pool stick could hit you. So it was a lot. So and they would use it as like a wrestling ring, so you could push them into people, and then they would bounce them off as if they were ropes. But if they was holding something, they'll crack you in the head with a bottle. All that. And
Mm.
there was another one where you fight in a parking lot, and you use the cars as a weapon. So you're throwing them into the door, slamming their head in it. The game is good.
Oh,
The
they on
game
the
has so
rooftop
much
now,
going
huh?
on with it. Yeah,
That
the
must be
rooftop, all
LL
of it.
Cool J
Like,
in that Adidas
yeah,
tracksuit
and that's
or
just
Jam
some,
Master
yeah, it
Jay.
looks like LL Cool J, but it's just some creative guy. Just some super 80s New York dude.
Jam Master Jay, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him
Just
go.
beating up Rev Run. And they had a guy that was absolutely 100% 50 Cent, but it wasn't 50 Cent. It was like one of them, like one of those, look. That's just a guy in the crowd slamming my man's. That like
Look like Lloyd Banks, maybe.
yeah, so G Unit
Mm.
wasn't in this game, but they
Mm.
definitely 100% had a uh, a 50 Cent type guy. I think his name was Tech. He had a bullet.
Mm.
It was a giant black dude with a bulletproof vest and a do rag. It was 50 Cent one. It was 50 Cent 100%, and it was like one of those bosses
Yeah,
you found towards the
I
end of the
think
game. Like
I think I remember the
and
image you're talking about.
yeah, and these games were funny because this is early 2000s, so like two-way pages were in the game. So it would be like between fights, you would get messages from other people. So you would get a message from Henry Rollins saying, all right, you got to get back in the gym and work on your cardio or something. You would get a message from Jacob the jeweler, hey, I got some new rings, come check them out. Then out of nowhere, you would get a voicemail from Sean Paul cussing you out, like, hey, pussy, come down here and fight me. And then he would be the next guy you fought. So you would get a you would get a voicemail from like your opponents, and it was all two-way pagers. So it was the newest fun technology where someone could just put a message in your pocket, and every rappers would just call you after a match and then curse you out or whatever. Or if he was on your side, he would say, hey man, be careful of blah blah blah. I heard he's shady or something. All that stuff. So it was like personalities in the rap game. I think there's a couple of managers in here that are people like everyone wasn't in the story, but a lot of them were in. If you were just in hip hop, like they just put you in the game. I think one of them is like a famous bouncer is in this game, like just a famous club bouncer is a character in this game. Fun thing, like all right, so my favorite rapper has been Joe Budden since like 03. He's been my favorite, like and I found out about him from Def Jam Vendetta, the game you was bringing up. So I found out I found out about him because I played with him then. I had no idea who he was, but he had a red hoodie and I just liked how his character talked. So
that's when he first blew up. That's when he first blew up.
I mean,
like,
this is like
Pump it up.
Yeah. And I don't even think Pump It Up was big when he was on the game. He
pretty big. This is 03.
Yeah, I mean,
03,
yeah, but he may have just gotten signed, so it wasn't even like a thing yet. So I remember his name from the game, and then I bought. This is a long time ago. I ended up buying the Too Fast, Too Furious soundtrack, and Pump It Up was on that soundtrack. And that became my favorite song on that CD. And I remember that name, Joe Budden. I bought his album. And then from his first album, he's been my favorite rapper since when I got that. Because I remember that name from Vendetta. I had no idea who he was. And then I just ended up playing. I just ended up playing with him because he had my favorite finisher in that game. It was like a weird spin around, slam your head on the ground move. And then I ended up getting his album, and his album pretty much matched my life at the time. So his whole album was his debut album. So the whole album he's just talking about how he don't trust nobody. He was like, I don't know who these people are. I'm downtown at Def Jam. Yeah. And then so I'm listening to him, not knowing what's going on in the world, and I'm a freshman in college at a white school. This is my first time out of Detroit. I'm in Kalamazoo by myself. All these white folks around. I don't trust nothing around here. And the only music I was listening to was that album. So it's just locked in that he's just my favorite rapper. And I just kept finding mixtapes. But Def Jam Vendetta is what put him on my radar. Because at the time I was listening to 50 Cent, and he was the only thing I needed at the time. Like that Get Rich or Die Trying album. That was the only album I could remember where every song from the album made it to the radio. And this not even just in Detroit, not even in New York. But I remember every song being on the radio at some point, every track. But that's how Joe Budden became my favorite rapper, was from these games. But on Fight for New York, my favorite fighter on here was Scarface. Scarface is my favorite fighter on here. He's rapper out of Houston, real good.
My block, I came up on Scarface probably a little later, like in the early mid 2000s. Like when my block dropped, that was kind of when I got put on him. But I didn't realize, obviously, back in the day, like the 90s, he was, he was one of the OGs.
Yeah, I remember him from I remember him from Ghetto Boys when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, he was a Ghetto Boy. Okay, he was part of Ghetto Boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's when I remember Scarface.
Man. Bro,
but if you notice, as you've been fast forwarding, if you notice as you've been fast forwarding through this guys, because the guys playing through career mode, If you
Right,
notice, he
right.
started getting more jewelry as we've been going on. Because now he's got he made enough money when he bought some rings.
Yeah, beating up
And you could
Memphis
get
Bleak.
different rings and some are gold, platinum, some diamond stuff. So like you could upgrade your jewelry as you went on too, and you got more points for stuff.
Mm. Man, so
And it's like and it's like people's hit songs are playing as you're
mm.
as you're playing the game. Like this game, this may be one of the best. It's one of the top fighting / wrestling games ever made. And it was
Yeah, and I think it holds up too, because the fact that I think the last Def Jam they made was in 07. And I remember
the
like
icon
just
didn't know.
Icon.
Didn't make if they would just made this with just more people, it would have been just fine. Like this formula was perfect.
Yeah, they could have kept going. Wonder why they kind of ended it in 07. Like
I don't know. Like I don't even like this was the last wrestling game I ever played because the mechanics were perfect.
Right.
But like I'm really interested if they would make I told a friend of mine, since hip hop is so different now than what it was 20 years ago, if they made this game again, Drake would be like a hidden special character. That's what we are. Like
Drake, Future.
He's one of the last big rappers.
Yay.
Like physically big.
Was Kanye on in the last one? Def Jam Icon?
No. Kanye wasn't in any of these. Nah. But
wait. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. This is my theory. Hear me out. I think 07 the tide started turning, and now that you had, I think since 07, what happened? You had the 50 Cent versus Kanye album drop. So it was like, is gangster rap gonna be able to compete with this or overtake this new school kind of true Kanye? And then when Kanye ended up selling out more, ended up overselling them. So I think that was the tide where all of a sudden we kind of went from gangster street to more vulnerable Kanye. So I felt like the Jam series could have adapted to that, but I think instead they were like, oh well, the street hood sort of rap's going away, so kind of the whole Def Jam franchise went away with it. That's kind of my theory.
That sounds good. That sounds accurate. That could be it.
Yeah, because I feel like there's still been potential. There's still plenty of rappers, even though obviously the gangster street isn't as prevalent. I feel like there's still a whole lot of culture where they could have kept this going and likeness. And I feel like maybe eventually niggas would have maybe asked for too much money. Who knows? But I feel like they kind of missed an opportunity where they were like that tide started turning, so they were like, nah. Hip hop ain't what it used to be no more,
You might actually be really right about that because I forgot about that because I think wasn't it 50 Cent's The Massacre?
Yeah, it was 50 Cent The Massacre going up against Graduation. September, I still remember. I remember all the hype. This was September 2007. I was a sophomore at Wayne State, and everybody was like, "Oh, my the album!" There was so much anticipation, bro. And then because you literally didn't know, like looking back now, people are like kind of thinking, oh, that's so funny. Yeah, of course, Kanye, and then he kind of took off. But back then, it was still 50 Cent was still neck and neck. It wasn't so easy for you to think like, oh, Kanye's just gonna come in and blow 50 Cent out. It was like, hey, 50 Cent was still 50 Cent.
Yeah,
he was still like a larger than life mogul now, but he was still like a huge hip hop heavyweight. So you weren't expecting Kanye, the new kid on the block, still pretty new to overtake 50.
Yeah, and that was I think Graduation was his second album, right? Because
no, the third album.
It was his third.
Graduation was his third.
First one was Dropout, then Late
They were both on their third albums. They were both. Massacre was his third studio album for 50.
Okay.
Graduation was his third for Kanye.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, I completely forgot about that part, and that makes a lot of sense because after that, this is like rappers stopped being big. Rappers stopped lifting weights. That whole thing changed. Which opened the door.
The clothes weren't as baggy. People started,
and it definitely opened the door for. Yeah, that opened the door for like J. Cole's and Big Sean's and
the backpack era.
The backpack era. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Big
J.
Sean,
Cole,
Wale, Asher
yeah,
Ross,
the king of the
Mac
backpack era.
Miller, Kendrick.
Oh yeah, bam, right there. He gave the pool stick. I was waiting for that this whole time.
I missed it. Let me go back.
Yeah. Go back just a couple of seconds. But yeah, like that really opened the door for like that different. For the, I mean, Pop Smoke may have been one of the last like new thugged out rappers. Like thugged out. I think may have been Pop Smoke. May have been one of the last. I'm not as well versed, but he may
Man,
have been the last one.
I want to say like oh, rappers aren't thugged out anymore. I think there's still that sort of commercial thug, but I feel like they're
Yeah,
more kind of faking it. I don't think they're really living that life, like the
yeah,
Gunna. I mean, maybe Young Thug, obviously, and Gunna and all.
but
I'm
I mean,
talking
yeah,
about
what
the
Young
younger
Thug
cat.
and Gunna, like those guys, you wouldn't be worried about them popping up on them in the alley. Pop Smoke
Yeah,
is one you're like, all right, I'll be in trouble with Pop.
yeah, that's how he got taken out. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to shoot Pop. You can't squaring up with Pop Smoke would be tough. But back in this era, almost every rapper was, what I'm saying, it would be a tough time with him. But
We got a comment. Hold on a second.
I think it was just a commercial.
Oh,
It's just an ad.
oh, Joyous. Okay. I thought we had our first comment. I see we got one person watching, but that might be me.
Gotcha.
I might count for myself. Well, we'll get there though. We want to get there. I don't know why I'm having trouble with obviously I want to live stream on Twitch and YouTube. And once again, guys, welcome back to Comedian Gameplay Commentary. I'm Hayward Crawford, comedy writer here with Gadholland. Feel free to hit us up if you have any want to call live in or you want to contribute to seeing more of this. Eventually, right now we're streaming live on Twitch, but obviously once we start streaming live on YouTube, our audience will grow a little bigger. But yeah. So moving right along, man. Anything else we want to add for Def Jam?
I was just like, imagine if this game was made again, but like it's like Lil Yachty, Uzi Vert, like those are the characters you be playing as. It like I don't even know if you could even make this game again. Look at Scarface wearing Cardi's before Cardi's was like really outside Detroit. I mean, that's Houston wearing Cardi's. Like that's his fighting outfit. Is a rolled up sleeve white tee, some Cardi's and a backwards fat fur.
It's just so commercial. Look at that, $70,000.
Like you have to go talk to Jacob the jeweler to go get a watch because you need a watch to go have a street fight in the bottom of a strip club.
I think that's the level coming up. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So who's this guy? This white boy is kind of like a loosely based Eminem.
Oh, that's just who the guy. That's who the YouTuber just created. Like that guy's not real. That's right. Just the creative person he made. So he made a giant. He looks like the brother on Shameless.
I think I know what you're talking about. I haven't watched the show. But
the guy with the black wife. That's who he looks like. Yeah, that's Tech. That's fake 50 Cent. Now you see, like he's been shot too, so he's got bandages like he clearly has a GSW in his shoulder.
9 of them, 9 shots.
Yeah, bulletproof vest, bandana. That's 50 Cent, but it was one of those you couldn't put him in. It was probably some contract thing. You couldn't put him in the game, so we'll just put your clone in, like how video games, like how basketball games couldn't put Michael Jordan in them. So they just had like player 99 on the bench, and like you don't know why, but this guy has a 95 rating, but he's on the bench for the Bulls. You had to put him in. You had to put him in yourself, and he gets on the court as some white dude that's unstoppable, but you know that's Jordan. It was the same thing with Tech. Yeah, 2-way pages. Look at that.
Like I feel like in hindsight, I mean, what's cool about this is I feel like this is probably when they were making the game, they thought it was really cool, but it was pretty like a life rights and clearance nightmare. Yeah. I'm pretty sure like they were like by the second, third game, That probably been made a headache right there, paying so much
Redman
money.
is cussing you out on a two-way pager.
Yeah.
That's what this this game is insane.
But just the amount of money.
It probably was a likeness and was it fake like name and
name likeness. I'm saying like that must have been a nightmare. Not only like to run around getting all those clearances, but then the amount of money they're shelling out. And I don't know if the sales were as good at the second game as it was in the first or the third. But eventually they may be like, man, all this trouble we're doing, getting all these clearances. I mean, I don't know if the sales held up. That may have been part of the issue. Like maybe the third game probably tanked from what it sounds like. I didn't play the third game or the second one. So
this one
looking back, this one was,
I'm almost certain this one did better than the first one. And every one of these rappers voiced their own characters. So every one of them did. So like everything that they say they did. Redman has the funniest special move in the game. So he kicks you in the nuts like 12 times, and that's the finisher. Like that's his special move. And the one he wanted, they was like, no, we're just not going to program what he wanted. He wanted to call in a bunch of women out of the crowd to kick you in the nuts. And that was what like I watched a bunch of behind the scenes stuff with this game. He was like, I just want a bunch of bitches to just come and just stomp his nuts in, and then that's how I win. And it's like, yeah, no, we're not going to program that. Right, so they just programmed a ridiculous. He just hit you in the nuts a bunch of times and you just pass out. Like that's his finisher. He has the funniest one in the game. David Banner's in here, and he looks like, David Banner's in this game, and he looks like how Bruce Banner wakes up after he was the Hulk. Like just wakes up with just torn pants and no shirt. Like that's how he walks around.
Snoop Dogg looking like a pimp named Slickback, and Exhibit looked like he just walked off the set of Pimp My Ride,
And Snoop
going back.
Yes, Snoop's the final boss in the game, and he is crazy to beat. Oh yes. Also, when you finally beat this game, right? The music that plays when you finally beat it is so like basically you go through this whole story mode. You got to deal with everything. You finally beat Crow. I forgot what was the whole point of all of this, but you finally do everything. And the music that plays during the credits is a song called Walk With Me by Joe Budden. I lost my mind when I heard, because again, it's my favorite song of Joe. Like, forget Pump It Up, forget all that. Walk With Me is my favorite song of his. And it's just him just walking and you're with him throughout the song. And he's just going through his problems in the song. It was like one of those, and it just matched me being tired of shit in college. So
they gonna fight?
All of this. So what?
Are they gonna fight, or he just gonna shoot him? Is this the end where they gonna fight?
Yeah, no, he emptied the clip. So like,
or is they not gonna fight? I thought it'd be a final battle. Oh, okay. Ooh, there we go. All right.
Oh yeah, no. He fights, and he has every move in the game. He has so many cheat moves. It's not even fair. I mean, like, there's a match where you fight in the subway, you throwing people into the train. So like this game is good. Like this, one of my favorite games I think the way you win, you have to throw them out the window.
Yeah, I feel like it eventually.
Yeah, because this isn't even like a match. This is just a vengeance fight. So there's no crowd, there's no KO. You have to just murder this man. And the only way to throw him out the window, you have to just keep throwing him into the window until it breaks. So that's like I feel a little salty.
I feel a little salty. The salty side of me is like, man, this white boy at the end of the game is gonna throw a black man, this self-made black man out a window. But
self-made.
At the same time, I'm gonna suspend my, my
there it is, bam, and that's how you won.
That's not gonna age well, but I'm gonna just leave that.
No, I got it. I completely understand.
Yeah.
I feel bad throwing my fellow brother out the window. I made me. I had a big bald dude running around.
Yeah, that's the petty side of me. Get political with it. But yeah,
But
man. All
during
right,
those
cool.
credits,
Cool. So
Walk
Def
With Me
Jam.
played, and it was like, yo, it was because it was like one of them songs that I didn't expect. I wouldn't expect anybody else to know about or like.
Mm,
And it's like it's like I think it's like a B-side track, so it's not like one of those you would really be
mm,
into like things. It's not one of the singles.
mm.
So to have this song play at the end of a journey is perfect. At the end of the story, it's a perfect song to put at a long. You've been playing this game for months, and to put that in is a perfect little ending. But yeah, like we can move on to like the next game. But yeah, Fight for New York is one of my favorite games all time.
All right, all right. Def Jam Fight for NY on the
Fat Joe's name was Crack. That was it.
PS2.
I forgot about that.
And of course, you got Luda in there, Lil Kim, Shauna, taking it back to
Oh,
DTP.
oh yeah,
All right, so
there was a storyline in there where you had to fight a match, and if you won,
mhm,
you got like either Kamora Simmons or Carmen Electra, like some fine model. But if you lost, you
mhm.
ended up with this ugly girl for the rest of the game.
Man, that's real life, man.
Crazy,
Art imitates life. All right, so
man.
guys, so I'm gonna get into my first pick for episode 3
Oh, you
is
picked a
the
good
one and
one.
only Tomb Raider 1, 1996 for the PS1. Um, so many emotions come back to this game, like this the song. I don't know if you can hear the music,
Oh yeah,
but
I hear.
oh, you hear it?
Oh
Oh, you,
yeah, I hear it.
you
That's
hear the
classic.
music?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I hear
yeah,
it.
yeah. So this just goes back to classic 1996 PS1. Obviously, back then, you wish the cutscene graphics looked like the graphics you played in, but
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't always have it that way. And I just think what was great about Tomb Raider is the fact that it's like we kind of had our first PS1 had its first sexy heroine. We had like our
Yeah.
first like because every every
Mm-hmm.
every every game system kind of has like the general mascot. Sega had Sonic,
Uh-huh.
PlayStation had I guess Crash Bandicoot kind of took that role a little bit, but
PlayStation, they had a lot of identity crisis when PlayStation first came out because they never established a real
yeah,
one person.
yeah, there was no one. You
Yeah,
had
and
some
it was
real
a
strong ones, but you
so there's a
had
battle between Laura
yeah,
Croft, Crash Bandicoot, and like Spyro the Dragon. Like they didn't know what direction they wanted.
yeah. Spyro got close, but yeah,
Yeah.
Laura became at least the first like sex symbol heroine of the
Oh yeah.
PS1. So
She was the first one, period, I want to say. Like the
yeah,
only other
perhaps
argument I would have is like Samus. But that's only for like Metroid. But you
yeah,
had to
we
beat the
never saw. I didn't
game.
even need
Yeah, but like you had to
to
beat
see
the
her.
game to find out Samus was a girl. You run
Yeah,
through this whole game as a space bounty hunter, had no idea it was a woman until you beat the game, and then she's standing in the bikini in the cutscene. Like you had no idea that Metroid, the main person you've been playing with, was a woman the entire time.
and then if you accidentally
Like
press the button too soon, you skip that whole last scene. Like, oh, I didn't mean to.
yeah, you missed the
You
whole
couldn't go to
and
YouTube.
and
You
it
couldn't
was
go to
yeah.
YouTube and look
You
it
had
up
to
again.
it wasn't on YouTube. You had to beat the game again to find out.
That was the worst when you would skip a cutscene you ain't mean to, and it
Yeah,
was just like I can't even go back.
this is the most useless piece of winter clothes I've ever seen. Is this poncho hoodie thing she's wearing?
You look good, don't you? Though
Man, dude, this game, a lot of emotions came back. Horny is one of them. And this game dropped. And
I
I ain't
remember
never
the
seen,
posters. I remember the
dude.
posters at
The
the
posters
boat
were
house that
crazy.
came in Game Informer, Electronic
Mhm.
Game Magazine. I remember like
Yeah,
they sexualized. I mean, in a weird way. Looking back, it's kind of creepy, but they she looked good for
it wasn't their fault. They made the game like this. Like she's in the Andes Mountains with booty shorts on and her Mexican compadre. None of this makes sense. So they're
get
in
it.
the woods with all the rain, and these wolves come out. They Carlos is dead.
Yeah, the wolves. They
She
just
comes
took
out, and
him.
that poncho's gone. You don't see that poncho again.
Yeah, got stuck up there.
And oh yeah,
The glasses though.
oh yeah.
Hmm.
and she has been a cosplay legend for the next 30 years.
What were your thoughts on
this look is so iconic now. Where Tomb Raider games now, where like they redid it and made her an actual realistic person. It wasn't just they were just trying to invent Angelina Jolie again. So now, even now, when they have a more practical Lara Croft, you can always unlock this outfit. Like this outfit is always an option.
Man, this is his first levels, bringing back all the vibes. Once again, guys, comedian gameplay commentary. Hayward Crawford here with gadholland. We're exploring the first level of Tomb Raider 1, 1996 on the PS1. You had to be there. Little kids today, y'all look at this like, ugh, like y'all don't even know. I remember the side step. Yep, remember that.
Man, dude, the way she ran was just all grids. So like run forward was a certain amount of squares, the back was a certain amount. That's how you measured all your jumps. And then hold down L1 to walk. I used to run around with the pistols out just in case, because like you didn't know when an enemy came to you.
You didn't know.
All of a sudden you're running and then like a puma just starts biting you. So I would just keep the guns out because she would just point.
Like bats, wolves.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So I would just keep my guns out and just start shooting the second she pointed.
Man.
Yeah, it's snow all on the ground in this cave. Just shorts on, I'm fine. Shorts and a pair of boots, I'm good. Big old triangle titties.
Well, hold on.
This was the first game I ever bought a strategy.
Kind of holds up.
Huh?
These graphics still, I want to say they hold up, but just even looking back, 96 for the PS1.
It's decent. It's not bad.
Pretty epic for its time. Yeah. It's 25.
And this level,
26.
This level was so crazy because like a bear would come out and attack you. There was so much going on.
Darts. The dog.
Yeah, the wolves are coming. Dog, this game, I didn't beat this game till I was probably in my 20s.
Oh, you didn't play it till later on?
Oh no, I played it when I was a kid. I just couldn't beat it because this game would scare me.
Yeah, it had some moments, but at the same time
it was too quiet. Look at this. So you got to walk to the turn. It was he had to use the grid to make all the jumps. Yeah,
was it the second game where you got the practice? You had like a little practice course in her house. That's the second game.
And then shooting the butler. Look at that. The step to the edge, the hop back, to run, so you could time the jump.
Wait, how did you shoot the butler? I didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah. So after you ran the obstacle course, you got the pistols. If you did the obstacle course in the backyard, you got the pistols. And then once you got the pistols, the butler would change outfits and put on armor. He would have like a vest on and a helmet, and you could just shoot him all day.
And he went did he fall over and die? I don't remember.
No, he never died. He just take all the bullets. He's just walking around holding a tray of tea, and nothing happened to him. But the funniest thing is like locking them into the refrigerator. Everybody would lock him into the freezer in the kitchen. Because at our house, she has a walk-in freezer. Huh?
I forgot she had a dinosaur. I think there was a dinosaur. I forgot they had dinosaurs in this game.
This is the third level.
I ain't played it.
The third level. Yeah, the third level had dinosaurs. It's the only level that had them. So there was like raptors and a T-Rex in this level.
Man,
but also that's one of the only levels that had a cutscene.
Now, did you have a favorite Tomb Raider game? I mean, how many of the other Tomb Raider games did you play?
I played almost all Tomb Raider games. I played almost all of them. I want to say my favorite is probably like of the old school Laura's, probably three, maybe two or three is probably. No, I'll say three is my favorite. It had vehicles. It had a lot of stuff in it. I'll probably say three is probably my favorite one out of all of the old school ones. Yeah, Tomb
Oh
Raider 3
yeah,
had a
because
lot.
I'm pretty sure the motorcycle on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah, Tomb Raider 3 had a lot. So it had like ATVs and it had a lot. Yeah, it was all kinds of stuff going on in Tomb Raider 3. So I'll say that was probably my favorite one out of all of them. But one is just absolutely, it's just a 100% classic. But then it's funny how the games added more stuff. So like the technology advanced every game. So in
Mm-hmm.
this first one, Laura's hair is tied up. And the big change was in the other games, they made it a long braid because the technology advanced where they could render her hair
Mm-hmm.
better as she ran around.
Right.
Fun fact in this first Tomb Raider game, the rats, the giant rats in this game have the most polygons of anything in the game, including Laura.
Wait, the most polygons?
The most. So the rats in this game are the most intricate enemies in the game. As far as like how many parts and moving pieces that they had, the rats had the most
Mm-hmm.
moving pieces. I think that's a lion coming to get her.
Mm. Oh yeah, that's a cougar. Something.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, so I
mountain
think
lion.
she's in Rome. I think this is ancient Rome that she's in. She's in like the Colosseum. I think it's like the Colosseum level.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna read some trivia that I got. A little IMDb trivia.
Okay.
The main character was initially going to be a South American woman named Laura Cruz.
Mm.
Um, in 2006, the character Laura Croft was honored a star on the Walk of Game in San Francisco. Have you heard of that? The Walk of Game?
No.
No,
That's something
I
I
haven't
wouldn't mind
either.
seeing.
Yeah, okay. Laura, all right, check this out. Laura's famous breast size. Oh, they got the gorillas,
Do you
the
say this
monkeys.
game would scare the shit out of an 8-year old? Just a
Yeah.
gorilla just beat it, just clubbing you to death from behind?
Laura's famous breast size was actually brought by accident. Toby Gard, who must be the game designer, was fudging around with the computer character model when he accidentally blew up Laura's bosoms to 150% of what he intended it to be. As he was resizing it back to normal, the other designers saw what he was working on and told them they loved it and that they should keep the double size.
that
Bunch of
is
Silicon Valley nerds
that
just
is that is
geeking out.
that is the
Oh
worst
yeah, yeah, I
best
like it. Yeah.
decision.
You could tell there
Like,
were no women
yeah.
worked on that game. You could just
Oh
tell it was an
no,
all male
absolutely
team
not.
after hearing that.
But the funny thing is, it made her the iconic
Yeah,
character though.
it did.
So without that, I don't know how far we would have gotten in this, or
No,
how
it's
far this
funny.
series would have
I'm
made
not
it.
I'm not complaining. I'm saying like you just
Yeah.
knew if it was 2022 or if there was a
Mm-hmm.
woman on that team back then,
Oh
they
no,
would have
it would have raised all kinds of
boycotted
hell.
that shit. And she would have been like, "Abba, either the breast go or I go." Like she,
Oh yeah, I forgot. Also, yeah. Also, okay. So I was talking about the hair rendering. The
Mhm,
Another funny thing is when in Tomb Raider 2 and 3, when they gave her an actual braid, they also
mhm,
changed her boobs from the big triangles and they made them round. That was the other step up in
mm,
technology because these triangle titties
okay.
was only in one game. And I just saw somebody cosplay as her and had the big giant triangle shelf. Like so, like they took like a tissue box and cut it sideways and put it under her shirt, and like that was the outfit.
If she run towards you too fast, may take an eye out. Those
It
things,
cut your head off because it
the
was it was
triangles.
it was just like it wasn't
Yeah.
two triangles. It was just one wedge. It's just one wide wedge. That was her bust. Yeah.
Ooh, yep. Some more. Man,
Man, this was a
look at
good
it go.
game.
Look at it go.
I was not old enough to play this. Like even because I couldn't keep up with the puzzles. I couldn't. I
Yeah,
was
that was
just
hard
not.
for me. I had to play it with cousins. I played with like either like a neighbor or like a cousin, and like me on
Yeah,
between two or three of us, we ended up beating it. But I remember there's some days I was like, I'm not smart enough for this.
yeah. I am. It was plenty of times I was like, I can't figure this out. Like this is one of the hardest levels. I think this is a cistern. This whole level is just filled with water.
Oh yeah, doesn't the
I,
water level raise up or
mm-hmm.
something?
And you had to raise it and lower. Yeah. There's no
Um,
way if I'm just figuring out long division, I'm going to just figure this game out. Like
yeah.
this is no way. Matter of fact, I was looking at the other one where they were in Rome and all the Greek letters on the ground. You want me to match
Mhm.
up Omega and Beta and all these other and Gamma? Like it was so much for me as a kid to try to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, the game had a bias. So they made it for like the little honor roll nerds
Yeah,
that
yeah, I was
got
not.
straight A's.
Yeah,
They left all the
I
C
was
students out. We ain't making it for
man. I was
y'all.
100% not prepared for these put for these puzzles. I was not smart enough to get these going. Or like I could probably go through it if I play this game again. I could probably do it, but as a kid, there's no way I could have figured these. Like it blew my mind in that first level in that cave. The one block I
Mhm.
could have pushed to get to the next room, I didn't know that block was pushable.
Yeah, it's like they didn't really give you unless you like
No,
went to Cheat
there
Code
was
Central or bought the
it was
strategy guide at Funko Land. It
and it
wasn't
was
just
no
you do have to,
real
yeah. They did challenge you. They did challenge.
tutorial or nothing.
Mhm.
It was like you could run around in Laura's house and then you could like figure out how to run and jump. But it was like no tutorial to show, yeah, you can do this, you can do that. It was just like the game just starts and you run down a quarter and then bats start biting you.
Mm.
So you had to figure there were like there was no like
Oh, yep, there she go.
mm-hmm.
We gotta take that back again. I forgot that epic scream of
Dude,
death.
she was and you and it was only like a few places in the game where you could fall far enough to make her scream.
Yeah, we gotta hear that again. Gotta hear that
It
scream
wasn't
again.
like that yet. Like every jump didn't do that. So you had to get somewhere high enough to jump down to get that scream to activate.
Yeah, that took me back.
That little
I about to do
scream.
it again. Yeah, the
Man,
screen. Yeah,
I used to go through this game and and find ways to die. That was one of my favorite things to do.
I see
Is
why you
do
didn't
that
beat the
because
game.
oh yeah, like you can get killed by animals, you can get eaten by a T-Rex,
There we go.
you can get
Hey,
shot if you jumped off a high enough ledge, but used the dive option, she would just land and break her neck instead of rolling. She would break her
mhm.
neck and land. She could get electrocuted. There's another level where, like, if you do a puzzle wrong, you get turned into gold.
I forgot about
Uh,
all the supernatural threats
yeah,
they had
and
in
now
this
she's
game too.
fighting
I
the
thought that didn't show up
Atlantean.
till like the second or third game. I forgot about.
Yeah, yeah, no. This whole thing. She eventually goes to Atlantis, and whenever you see the supernatural stuff, she's fighting Atlanteans. And
This dude should
Atlanteans
have
were
been there.
just naked people made out of muscle.
All right, some more fun facts from
Mm-hmm.
IMDb. James Bond, Indiana Jones, Sarah Connor were major influences behind Laura Croft. The first,
Mm-hmm.
they claim this is the first real 3D interactive exploratory adventure video game, which I agree probably is.
Mm-hmm.
Another fun fact: the character of Laura Croft was awarded a Guinness World Record in 2006, recognizing her as the most successful human video game heroine.
I would agree. Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
think anybody even comes close to her.
yeah, you can't, you know, yeah, I can't think of anybody either. She kind of really took that mantle, you know.
It's the little girl from The Last of Us would be the only thing even close to her, and that's not even a contest.
Yeah, I never even, don't hate. I mean, we could have this video. We could feature that on a future episode. I never played
Yeah,
The Last of Us. I kind of felt I didn't. I guess I
me
kind of
either.
missed
I
the
haven't played
boat
it.
on
Yeah, I haven't played it either, and
that.
it's a
Mhm.
PlayStation exclusive, and I only have Xbox stuff. So I would have I want a PlayStation, but I just don't have one.
Was that a
So
PS3 era game?
Last of Us, I want to say four. I think
Oh, so it was
I think
relatively within the
Uncharted
last
started
10
at
years.
3. Hmm?
So they're trying to be like the new Walking Dead, basically.
Oh yeah. But my friends told me that the new show, you don't need to play the game to enjoy the show. So I'm gonna start watching
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, especially the Walking Dead TV show just ended. RIP.
Hmm.
Um, all right, another trivia.
Okay.
Tomb Raider, the first and only Tomb Raider game released for the Sega Saturn. I didn't know that. Did you know it came out on the Sega Saturn too?
Was it the first Tomb Raider game?
Yeah, the first Tomb Raider game came out
Okay.
on the PS1, obviously, but also came out on the Sega Saturn. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. I mean, we could maybe get into maybe the movies. Angelina Jolie. What were your thoughts on the? I mean, obviously that came out when I was still in my gaming years. So I
Hmm.
thought I think the game. I think the first Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie was. I think it was epic for its time. Obviously, some parts of it maybe not hold up as well, but I think it had great action. I think it was fun. It wasn't trying to
It
be
matched. It
political.
was no.
It
It
wasn't trying
matched.
to
It
be
wasn't.
like,
It was.
oh,
Yeah.
we're, Me Too woman. It was just like Angelina was badass. I think it was a great
It
popcorn
was exactly what this game was. It was exactly what it was
flick.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now, if they make another one, they'll have to do it on the remake version of Tomb Raider. So it had to be more grounded and more because now she's not this overpowered uh jewel finder. She's like
Hmm.
it's like now the Tomb Raider games is she's out on an adventure looking for something, and then something disastrous happens, and now she has to kind of stay alive for a couple of days until she can makeshift some weapons and then start moving around.
I think
But this game started
they
off,
remade they remade the first one, right? They did a remake of PS2, or no, like
yeah,
I think within the last few years they did a remake, right?
they always reskin stuff and then send it out, and
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, so yeah, they definitely redone these games and made them smoother looking.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, Tomb Raider, epic. Just kind of reminiscing. Obviously, once again, welcome back, guys. A comedian gameplay commentary. We don't have time to watch an entire 3-4 hour of a gameplay, but we like to just kind of go through here, look at the highlights, kind of reminisce, give our thoughts and commentary on it. Definitely, I feel like they're gonna always be a new Tomb Raider game, but you can't beat the original. I would say maybe just make a remake where it's all this with like 2023 graphics, and then
Oh
just call
yeah,
it a day.
yeah. I
So
wouldn't
moving
mind kind of
forward,
smoothed out Tomb Raider one.
hmm there you go. All
It's
right,
weird
moving on.
these
We have
playthroughs. It's
Mhm.
weird these playthroughs are like 3 hours long, but that game took me years to beat. This game took me absolute years to beat, and these guys can just run through it in an afternoon.
No,
These
that's a
games were
good
so
point. No, that's a good point. No, you give them the benefit. No, you giving them too much credit. Honestly,
yeah,
whoever these gameplay YouTubers are, they played the game for years, kind of like how we did, or maybe they got onto it maybe a little later. But best believe
yeah,
they played the game at least 3-4 times, finally figured it out and beat it with cheat codes. So now you're seeing the very
yeah.
polished version. They didn't just up and pick up
Okay,
Tomb Raider for the first time and just play it.
yeah,
So give them
that
some
makes sense.
credit.
Because I'm like this
We
game,
sweat some
like
we yeah we laid down we laid down sweat and tears and blood to get through the game. So they probably watched other
yeah,
people played it. They had 3-4 attempts. But yeah, what we're watching now, good and well, they spent plenty of
because
hours.
I started playing
Yeah.
this elementary, middle school. I
hmm
didn't beat it till I was college age.
It
I
took me
know that.
months. Yeah, it would take you months or a
Yeah,
year later for some games.
yeah.
You
Like
leave
I
them
didn't
and
beat
go
Tomb
back
Raider
to it.
1 until 3 came out.
hmm
Like 3 was out by the time I beat this first game.
And remember, also got to think about this: the '90s, or we were kids, or we had school.
and
Our parents
homework
didn't
and
let us sit down and play a video game for 4 or 5 hours
ye-
at a time. I remember
mm.
getting only 30 minutes or hours some days, like on a
Oh
school
yeah,
night. So that these were
and
the factors. So now you got these YouTubers that full time they sit at home doing
this
this
is
shit.
what they
Yeah, they gonna
do.
beat it in like 6, 7 hours, and then but this is probably their fourth or fifth attempt, and they probably like decided, okay, once I get it down, once I beat the game in 5 hours or less, then I'm gonna like live stream that one. But they're not going through
Oh
here
yeah,
for these games for the first time and just beating it. You know, they got
okay,
hours. That's just my
okay,
opinion. That's
yeah,
what
you're right. No, 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 you're absolutely right. Cause yeah, we had homework, and if I had that, and I
yeah.
definitely had that. All right, look, 8 o'clock, all this stuff gets turned off. You got to shower, get in the bed.
Yeah,
I'm not playing Tomb
yeah.
Raider. I'm playing Mario Kart. I'm trying to get as much dumb fun in that 30 minutes as possible. I could
And
run
that's if
through
you
at
had a memory
least,
card. You remember sometimes
yeah.
when your memory card didn't work or your memory card got
And you
lost or
and
it
you
got
left the
messed up,
game on all night.
or you were like, yeah, I'm gonna
You
like I
just left the
can't
game.
save it. I'm gonna leave it on all night. You wake up the next morning, your mama turned it off. Like, hey,
Yeah, you
whatever.
just she just saw that red light and just off. He forgot.
Oh, oh, he forgot to
Yeah,
turn the game off. Like, mom,
I
no, I
forgot
needed
about
to
leaving
keep
the
it.
game on all
My
night.
memory card
Oh
was
yeah.
full. My memory card was full, mom. You killed my game. So they didn't. These, yeah, I want to give them too much credit. These YouTubers nowadays, they got all day to just sit there and play it over and over again.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, no,
moving
you're
forward,
absolutely
we
right
got
with that.
yeah. You gotta you don't want to give YouTubers too much credit. So now moving forward, we now have NBA Street for the PS2. Gad, this is your pick. Go ahead and put us on. Or no,
I think
no,
yeah,
NBA Street
one of our
for the
earlier episodes
PS2.
we talked about did we talk about NBA Jam on one of the older games? I know we talked about NFL Blitz.
We talked a little about the NBA Jam arcade. Yep, we touched on that.
This is the again, I'm back to EA. EA was unstoppable early 2000s. They were the Def Jam of video games. They were
Mm-hmm.
just on top,
EA
unstoppable.
Studios. Mm.
Yeah, send the game.
Uh,
And this was EA Big. So EA Big was all of their extreme sports. It was this NFL Street,
mm.
NBA Street, and basically NBA Street was NBA Jam plus crossovers. That's the best way to explain this. It was NBA Jam plus crossovers, and it, EA was
Epic.
on the like soundtracks. Like the game starts with a record player. It's not even about basketball. It's
I haven't seen this in years.
it's like, hey, what if we made Rucker Park a video game? And this is it. This is just Rucker Park as a video game.
Mm-hmm. And one. And one
Man,
mixed
yeah.
into
Those
a
and one
big,
mixtapes.
big,
You
big
watching Hot
influence.
Sauce
Shout
and
out and
all
one.
of that. So
Yeah.
they literally took all that street basketball and made a game. And this is it.
There you go.
And they have all these different cities. Fun thing about this game, I forgot which court it is, but one of the courts in New York, because New York has like a couple of courts, but one of them you can see the Twin Towers in the background.
I bet.
It was right. I mean, this game dropped right after 9/11.
Yeah, this game plays only 24 minutes, so we could let this one ride.
Oh yeah.
This is
But yeah, NBA
remember
Street.
these characters?
There it is right there. Twin Towers are right there.
Oh man, I gotta take a these characters were just epic. You had so I gotta go back and screenshot that. But you have not only like all the classic NBA players, but then you bring in these characters that kind of like hold their own weight, and it just brings a whole new vibe. You got
Man, the little Bow Wow
who
guy
was the
down in
leader
the
in the back
corner,
right there.
straight beast.
Man, I gotta hold on.
The white guy in the middle is from
Oh yeah, what was
Detroit.
that?
So he was a okay.
Yeah, I
So
mean, everybody was just
yeah,
teasing how, oh, that's like little Slim Shady. That's little,
yeah. I
Eminem
mean,
ripoff white boy.
they absolutely just put an Eminem in the game. They
Yeah,
100% just put
everybody was like, that's
when
just Eminem.
there's Eminem. I was like, okay, all right,
Little white
Detroit.
boy
How'd you
Eminem.
find the one white guy in Detroit in 2000? How did you find this? This is before gentrification. They didn't show up yet.
Yeah.
There wasn't no white people in Detroit yet. So they just picked this dude from Warren. But all right, cool. He's in the game now.
This menu was epic.
Man,
You have to obviously make your name, pick people.
Oh yeah.
Like, take people back to this is 2000. I think this is 2001, right? Yeah.
I want to say it's 01. This is 01, and the LA Lakers were, and this is one of the few games that has Michael Jordan in it.
Yeah.
Like actual Michael Jordan. Like, honestly, I'm not even sure if Michael Jordan was in the NBA live games at the time.
Oh, they didn't let him? He didn't want to be in them?
No, like it's really hard to find Michael Jordan in an actual basketball game.
Why was that? Really I played the NBA live games through the mid to late 90s. He wasn't in those?
No. Think about it. You never played with Michael Jordan.
So that was his decision, right? He just decided he didn't want his likeness in there.
It was something, it was a likeness thing. I think it was like he wanted to be paid extra just to be in it. It was a whole thing. So that's why they started putting those weird just player 99 or whatever in the game. And everyone knew that was Jordan, but it wasn't Jordan.
Let's just take a look. Let's just take the appreciation for this PS2 controller right here, man. Just, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the little kids are playing today. Is the PS4 still look anything like this or what?
Man, just think about this. You don't even use the right stick in this game.
Really?
You don't use it. Yeah. You don't use it.
I don't remember, man. It's been a minute. I haven't seen a lot of these games. Like, I don't go, I don't know about you, but I don't go and look at them before we look at them, before we do our show. Like, I haven't seen these in 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah. It's like a blast from the past.
Dude, this is the Vancouver Grizzlies and these are some of the hardest jerseys too. Like, that late 90s, early 2000s, the best jerseys in the NBA, that era.
I agree.
The Grizzlies had a great jersey. The Timberwolves had a great with the little trees inside of the collar. It was like all pine trees. They had an incredible setup.
No, I agree. It's like it's gotten worse. They lost their taste.
They went crazy minimalist and it's ugly.
Yeah. Only thing I do agree with, they did bring back the classic Pistons, with like the maroon or turquoise, whatever that was. They brought that back.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy that they did that.
Last few years. Would you say that NBA Street was the NFL Blitz of basketball games?
100%. NBA Street was just the newer NBA Jam. 100%. This was and this game had several different Michael Jordans.
So I remember that. Yeah, you got to unlock the 84 Jordan, of the young 84 Jordan. I remember that.
You could get and you can get the 96 Jordan.
Ooh.
So 96 Jordan was in here. The Wizards Jordan was in it, and I want to say rookie year Jordan was in here. It was a bunch of different. So it wasn't just that. And I think they had Jordan shoes in here too. Oh yeah, but this game was.
And I think I forgot the commentator's name, but like some great commentary. It really brought you in.
Oh yeah, the guy with the bullhorn is a real. I forgot his name, but he's real.
At an N1 game, like you didn't hear this before in basketball games,
And on this game, the Lakers were crazy, impossible to beat.
Yeah, this was still the Shaq Kobe era.
In this game, I always pick the 76ers. Always. I didn't play with anybody else in this game. To save the secret. Allen Iverson, the Kimbe Matumbo combo was insane. Matumbo could block any shot in this game, and Allen Iverson could just knock everybody. Like crossovers, you could use them to knock people down. So I would go in, just cross over people, and then just throw an alley oop to. Oh, this game was so much fun.
Now you couldn't go on. There wasn't online play yet. This is 2001. Online play that didn't really come out to maybe mid 2000s.
Right? Oh yeah, people had to come over to get beaten.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get to Resident Evil Outbreak because that one was one of the first that really pioneered online. I was like 04.
I want to say it was, yeah.
But really, before that, there really wasn't anything to maybe 08, 09.
They were still trying to figure it out. I remember Dreamcast had some online where you ran it through a dial-up cable, and it still wasn't like finalized at the time.
Yeah, I just didn't get it. I mean, it was just ahead of its time. Like I remember 04, like I don't want to play this Resident Evil random people I don't know. Like, or like I didn't. Yeah, I think back then, like I just didn't have the capability. Like my parents weren't about to pay extra on a bill for me to get an Ethernet cord to stick it in and block up a phone line to play on. So I just didn't have a choice by default. Like my parents weren't about to pay money. I didn't have any money to pay for that. Because you had to be like a straight Ethernet cord or phone line to go in the back of your PS2. You know?
Oh yeah.
The old days.
Yeah, no. I didn't figure out online play until Xbox. And even then, Halo 2 was the first real online thing that I had figured out. But also this will be another game that I would love to see made with today's players, like Ja Morant and Steph Curry in an NBA Street game. I gotta see that. Like, because all this came out before, like this game came out before when stuff started getting really crazy. Like, imagine this with a prime Blake Griffin. Imagine this game with a prime, with like the prime Clippers with DeAndre.
Oh, this is one of my favorite levels. Blake.
Oh yeah.
Man.
In Arizona, he's wearing sandals.
Right. This nigga wearing socks and sandals.
My man out there. Penny Hardaway, Jason Kidd, Shaw Marin. That's the squad.
Man, that was a squad.
Mookie Blaylock.
Jason Kidd, I remember like 2 years later.
Is one of my favorite players.
I think 2 years later, Jason Kidd was on the cover of NBA Live. I think it was on the 02.
Yeah, for the playing on the Nets. All right, so Mookie Blaylock. Oh, what is the name of that? There's a band that is obsessed with Mookie Blaylock. Oh,
what is the name of that band? Short guy. Short guy played for the Knicks, right? Mookie.
Right there, Mookie. Yeah, Mookie. Did he play for the Knicks?
I forgot.
I don't think Mookie. No. I don't think he played for the Knicks.
Let me look it up.
Oh, what is the name of that band? It's not Green Day. It's Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam is obsessed with Mookie Blaylock.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, he played for the Nets. He played
the Nets.
From 89 and 92 with the Nets, 92 to 99 with the Hawks, Atlanta Hawks. And then his last few years he was at Golden State. So Hawks, Nets, and the Warriors.
Okay. Yeah, I remember him on the Hawks the most.
Yeah.
And I think in this game he played for the Warriors. I think in this game.
Yeah, he would have been on the Warriors 99 to 02. So basically Atlanta Hawks, he was there for 7 years. That was his longest tenure. Atlanta Hawks 92 to 99.
So, all right, so the band Pearl Jam, I don't know why, but they're obsessed with Mookie Blaylock. They almost named the band Mookie Blaylock. And a lot of their songs are in reference to him. which doesn't make, which is insane. So Mookie's number is 10, and they actually have a song called 10, and it's
Mm.
for Mookie Blaylock.
Man.
Oh, Beacon Hill. This is
I wanted to just play
Boston.
a few more minutes of these different challenges. Yeah, like you doing the street challenges. Yeah. Oops, sorry. A little too forward.
This here is Boston's Beacon Hill, y'all. This game's first to 21 points, but you gotta win by 2.
And it's snow on the ground. This is just a crazy game.
Mike, it was just epic seeing these different levels, these different cities, different environments outside of just a stadium, you know.
Come on, man. Let's have a go.
And then as you beat each street challenge, they join your team. Which is like, you know.
And it just, for some reason, it's just a big British dude with dreadlocks. I don't know where this character came. I don't know what the thought process went to make
Massachusetts.
And like the funny thing is, Biggs isn't even good. He's just strong. So if you went in for a dunk or a layup, he never blocked it. He was just so strong you couldn't get him out of the way. So if he jumped to block your shot, you would just fall. But he could never really block the shot. He was just getting away.
Man. Well, yeah, remember that one.
That's the one off the backboard.
Yeah, I'm starting, all the combo moves starting to come back to me.
Dude, the funniest thing is the best crossover in the game, you don't even have to use turbo. It was called left. The best crossover in the whole game was called Left Behind, which I think is called. I think in real life it's called a sham guy. You would just dribble the ball between the other guy's legs and run around him. So if you just stood still and just hit square, he would just do that and run past people.
Let's see if I can look up where you could just a street challenge compilation so we can see like all of them.
I think Long Beach had another guy that was just all dunks. The Detroit had the Eminem guy who was just a 3-point shooter.
This might be a newer game. It don't look like NBA Street. It's probably the NBA Street remake.
It might be NBA Street. I think they made 3 NBA Streets. It was NBA Street 2, and then I think the third one was Home Court. The third one I never played.
All right, we got to at least look at Stretch and we kind of close it out.
Yeah, here. Stretch. Yeah, playing against Stretch. Because Stretch is not Dr. J. It's not, for some reason. But that's 100% Dr. J.
Yeah, Tekashi, the Yao Ming ripoff.
Yeah.
Bonafide was like Lil Wayne. Biggs was like Birdman. They all had like a rapper likeness. Like, okay, you just ripped off so and so.
Just Idris Elba.
And Eminem.
His name was Drake. I didn't even know his name was Drake.
Right. I guess they were kind of predicting something,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but they 100% just made it. I think Rucker Park is the one where you can see the Twin Towers in the background. No, wait. No, it's not Rucker Park. There's another New York court where you can see the Twin Towers in the back. And at the Detroit court, you can see the Renaissance Center.
Check out Stretch coming to the set to teach you a little lesson, right?
And Stretch has to be the inspiration to that Kyrie Irving movie.
Could be. And NBA Street just changed the game. It's just I know we gotta get the NFL Street as well. But anything else you want to add? Before we wrap up NBA Street.
Oh no, we can
That's
go.
it.
I pretty much said as much as I needed to. Just one thing I remember that when I played that like the difference, like I didn't touch the Pistons in NBA Street 1, but by the time Street 2 came out was when the Pistons were on their run, and Ben Wallace was a blocking machine.
Yes.
Ben
I
Wallace,
remember that.
dude, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, and Chauncey Billups were crazy in NBA Street 2.
And then you had Kobe, that was like in between NBA Street and NBA 2, he cut his hair. So it was like
you
Kobe
could
was
not
going
stop.
into
Yeah, you couldn't stop those three playing NBA Street 2. They were insane.
All right, y'all. Comedian gameplay commentary, just wrapping up NBA Street. Thanks for joining us. We grow this thing out. Next, I'm gonna go to my pick, Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead. This came out in 2008 on the Xbox 360, and this was another kind of change the game. Because you wouldn't expect, because at the time I think Resident Evil I wouldn't say Resident Evil fell off, but I mean it was kind of getting there. And you had like a slight resurgence with Resident Evil 4 for the PS2. Remember that dropped in like 04, 05. So Resident Evil was still kind of limping, hanging in there. But Left 4 Dead just kind of came out. Of course, you got, the Dawn of the Dead 2004 remake. 28 days later, you had Fast Zombies now. All of a sudden, we got Fast Zombies.
Yeah,
that kind of changed the game, even though, the real, the official first Fast Zombies was Return of the Living Dead in the 80s. But Left 4 Dead kind of brought in this whole new vibe where zombies were scary again. Resident Evil was getting a little procedural. This opening scene just set the stage for like the world we were going into. I mean, do you have any comments on this opening scene? Just how it just set this whole new precedent?
I'm kind of just watching because I didn't play Left 4 Dead. I played Left 4 Dead 2. That was the one I played.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 was the one I played. Okay. And I don't know the big differences between this one and that one. I just remember that the black guy in Left 4 Dead 2 looked just like me. So I always played as the coach. Just a big bald dude. So I was like, this is who I'm picking.
There's always a bald black guy. What the hell going on?
After they stopped giving black people high top fades and everything, it's just been bald heads after that.
Yeah, this you never seen this opening scene?
I've never seen this.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we can just kind of. Yeah, this is to set the game. Like we didn't even know what the game was really about. Really, like it just opened up with this.
Wow.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Now, let's just watch this.
Oh goodness!
Just shoot both. Run and shoot.
And this game is really going like this. So this cutscene is explaining everything about the game too, like teamwork, the boss zombies, the special zombies,
Yeah,
all the
that
different
opening
mechanics.
scene,
It
it
show,
just set the
yeah.
stage.
I think they ran through all the specialty zombies already.
Across the street.
Yeah, it showed like the witch and the big
The
boomer or
witch, the
whatever. You know, no,
hunter,
boomer was the one that passed gas all the time.
yeah.
The bloated one. But yeah,
But
this
like
sort of.
they'd already found this bio on the ground.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this game had a really great part of like teamwork to it. That you didn't really have before. Obviously, Resident Evil is all about environment, tiptoeing and shit. You know, so you got to work together as a team. I still didn't get over that online play hump. So I still just played it by myself or with like people around me. You know, but yeah, there was just it still had like a very action mixed with a little bit of horror. So I played part of Left 4 Dead 2, but I didn't beat it. What were your thoughts on Left 4 Dead 2 maybe compared to this one?
I never beat it either. It's just one of them games like stuff where you just like you're dependent on teamwork. It's tough to find a good squad to play this stuff. So I got through a bunch of levels, but that was a game I played a lot but never beat. Was Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
But man, it was
just
fun.
pulling up some trivia. Yeah, and I think they had a 3 and a 4. Oh, 4, they brought the originals back.
They had a Left 4 Dead 4?
Oh no, I'm sorry, I looked at it wrong. That's like a short.
Okay,
there was a Left 4 Dead
I only
2.
remember them. Yeah, I only remember them having these 2 games, and then
Oh
I
my
think
God,
a third was rumored.
Yeah, they never came out with a third one.
Yeah, a third one was rumored, and then they ended up making something else. It's on my Xbox now, which is kind of like the successor to Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead's got an 8.3 on IMDb.
Yeah, it came out. That came out like a year ago, a few months ago.
2008.
Okay.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead's 2008. Left 4 Dead 2 came out hot a year later, and then they just didn't return to it.
Yeah. And I played it a ton on my Xbox, this game. Well, not this one, but Left 4 Dead 2. If you came across one of those big slammer zombies, if you threw a jug of bile on them, the other zombies would go beat them up.
I think I remember
that was my move. That was my move, was throwing that bile on them.
Oh, I got a fun fact.
Okay.
All right, Left 4 Dead. The screaming sound, I don't know if they have the same one in the second one, I don't remember. Remember the screaming sound that plays when a horde event, like a zombie horde is triggered? They all start screaming. Mm-hmm. That scream is reused from Half-Life, from the Half-Life game. There's like the same
was screaming in
effect.
Half-Life?
It's some scream sound effect they just took from like Half-Life. It's a fun fact.
That's a fun fact. I mean, yeah, because the same people made it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is an odd reference though.
Yeah. But yeah, this just reminded me of like if 28 Days Later or Dawn of the Dead 04 remake was a video game, this would pretty much be it. You didn't have to really.
Yeah, 28 Days Later completely changed how we look at zombies. Because then they started sprinting.
Yeah, because even with Return of the Living Dead, like even though they ran and sprinted, it was still like a very comical kind of lampooning satire.
Yeah, it was more like a kind of like a half of a jog, but no, like 28 Days Later, they was coming from a half mile away.
Yeah, it was sprinting like hell. And then even with like Return of the Living Dead, they were just like screaming brains. They were running at you, they were screaming brains. That's where brains. You know. But yeah, there's epic levels. I mean, there's like I like how like each level explores, like a lot of games, a different part of society. Like you got the apartments, the city, there's like this hospital level, which is really good. It just has a really cool like.
Okay, do you remember where this game took place?
It was just like a city, from what I recall. Like you were just trying to escape out of the city in different scenarios.
Okay.
But they did a
Because
great
Left 4
job
Dead
of like
2, you were Left 4 Dead
where
2,
were
you
you in
were
Left 4 Dead
in
2?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay, I don't remember what city
Hmm.
this is. I thought it was just kind of fictional.
I'm
But
pretty
yeah,
sure. I mean, because like, everything was called a parish, so it's all like New Orleans based.
mm, yeah. So there were
Like
just a
one
lot
level,
of good
you're in a
moments from this
mall.
game. I'm trying to see if I can find this subway level, which is pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's one creepy level in two where you're in the swamp, you're in the bayou, walking around. So it's like zombies coming around the trees and shit.
Ooh. Oh yeah, there's a farmhouse level too. So you got to hold up in this farmhouse, and then they're just gonna like swarm the house, and you got to like
Oh,
pretty much. Yeah, it's like a campground. So now you're like in this
okay,
cabin. They're trying to escape, and it's like, oh, everybody fall back to the cabin. So now you got to like
okay.
hold off all these motherfuckers in the cabin.
Oh goodness gracious.
You know. Yeah, it's about to get real. Let's see if skip ahead. Oh yeah, yeah. Are they coming? Oh yeah, like whenever you answer the radio, all of a sudden they all just come storming and shit.
Oh yeah.
Skip ahead a bit. Well, anyway, I don't know what happened, but yeah, Left 4 Dead. Great graphics, really good vibes. Anything else you wanted to add, Gad, before we probably move on?
Oh no, no, I'm good. We go ahead and push on.
All right,
That was
cool.
really
Yeah,
that
so
was
Left 4
like
Dead, definitely
I was
epic.
gonna get I was gonna custom order a shirt that matched the coach character from Left 4 Dead 4 and enter a contest, and then COVID happened. So I remember
Oh,
that.
you're about to do what?
Oh yeah, yeah. Anytime,
You say you're about to do
anytime
what?
there's opportunity to dress as like a fat bald black dude, I always took because I would win. I almost won a costume contest on Halloween by dressing up as the guy for the Miller High Life commercials. And all I did was put on a gray shirt. That's all I did, and I almost won a contest.
Hey, there's a lot of us out there. So it only makes sense. All right, so Left 4 Dead. All right, moving forward. NFL Street. Now, NFL Street, I will confess, unfortunately, I didn't. I kind of missed the boat. I didn't play NFL Street. I remember when it came out, a lot of
Mhm.
anticipation. I was still a little more kind of like, I guess, stubborn, sort of like, why like NFL Blitz? Why they trying to take away from NFL Blitz? You
Yeah,
know, so I guess I missed the boat on it, even though it looked appealing. But I was kind of like, I like my NBA Street. I like my NFL
right,
Blitz. But go ahead and
right.
give us a little,
It's the same
you know,
thing as NBA Street. It's a scaled down to it's if you play tackle football in a parking lot, that's what NFL Street is. You're just
mm,
as football players playing football in a backyard or at like a playground. It's that. That's the best, quickest rundown of it.
mm,
And so some of these are fields, some of them are you are just playing
on concrete.
like yeah.
Wow.
It's like playing football. And on here, this looked like a field, but
Mhm,
only one side has an out of bounds. The
mm.
other side just has a wall, and you can
Yeah,
get knocked
Brian
right
Urlacher.
into the yeah. So there was just see the wall over there, like on the right. You could get
Yeah.
knocked into that and be put completely out.
Did you feel the toggle? Did they have the thing where the controller buzzes when you get hit?
Yeah, yeah. They definitely had that. Funny thing about this game, I don't know who designed the player models and who designed like the animation. I'm now watching it. Everybody looks like Fat Albert. Everybody's built like a Fat Albert character. I don't know what happened. Like the big dudes are built like Johnny Bravo, but they all run like it's Fat Albert.
Yeah, there's some swole niggas.
Yeah, it's and they all have the speed and pacing of like Gears of War, where it's just everything is heavy.
Oh, we definitely got to do Gears of War, man.
Oh yeah, write that down just for the next game. See how my man's running? It's just
yeah.
But this is another game I just wanted to just bring it because if I'm talking about NBA Street, I might as well bring in NFL Street for a second. But this is I was real good with the Steelers in this game. Good luck tackling Jerome Bettis in this game. Good luck. And I would swap my team out and I would take out the quarterback, which was like Tommy Maddox at the time, and put in Antoine Randall L, and it worked just because he played quarterback in college. And it worked just as
So fine. Who are your favorite teams? Who are your favorite teams with NFL Street? Like your top ones? NFL
Street was the Ravens and the Steelers in NFL Street. Ray Lewis had a do-rag on. he had a full do-rag.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
NFL Street was 04 or like 05? I think it was maybe
this was 04. I want to say on the loading screen it said 2004.
Okay. That's about right.
But oh yeah, this and like okay, so in NBA Street you would build up your game breaker meter, and then you could drop a 3-pointer that was worth like 4 or 5 points. In this game, if you did a game breaker, it was something like it was like a couple of plays where you were just untackleable. But what people would do is they would save it for when they was on defense. So if you did a game breaker while on defense, every tackle was a guaranteed fumble. And it worked. It just worked, no problem.
Did you come up with all these combos, or did you like go through the cheat codes, or was it like you just came up with them just by playing around with it?
Oh no. It's not a cheat code. It's the game. So the next time a game starts, you'll see like a meter at the top next to the team name. And if you fill that meter up, you unlock the special. And your special would make you crazy untackleable if you were on offense. But on defense, you would hit somebody so hard they would fumble guaranteed. So if you needed the ball back, you would just save that game breaker to when you're on defense and you would get the ball back every time.
So how would you compare like plays like that, or maybe the gameplay of it to like NFL Blitz? Did you feel like this is more?
This was Blitz was okay. NFL Street was Blitz with more options. So the gameplay was better. Like you could run the option on here. It was Blitz was just more. It was just when people just played the Blitz, there was more things to do. See how that wall is right there? You could get bumped into that wall. That's how you got tackled.
Just ran out of field.
But you see the meter up there at the top. You would just fill that up and just hold on to it.
Cool.
Yeah. So
red cars in the background. Like I like environments. Like I always like, even though the games are always like great. Like I always like a fond appreciation for the background and environments and just kind of how they lay them out. I feel like that really makes the game. It's almost like a character, like the environment and the backdrop. You know, it kind of adds to it, even though you're not really. People may not be thinking about it. You know.
Right. Oh yeah, I mean no. The background on here was in the game. Like you could get knocked in the trash cans, all kinds of shit. Yeah, if it was on the field, it was possible you can get hit with it.
We got Legends Park. All right, what I like about this gameplay, it takes us through parts of each level.
Oh yeah, it was This was the same. Yeah, I mean, this was definitely in the same realm as NBA Street. It just wasn't as popular as NBA Street, but it was definitely built in the exact same setup. But these body types, the body modes are just weird. Everyone ran and looked like fat. Like I'm just not noticing it. I knew it was something weird when I was playing this game, that something was kind of off, and I was like, every fat out character, and now everything clicked when I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, it's like they're all playing with shoulder pads on, even though they don't have shoulder. It's like they got shoulder pads inside their
Yeah,
shoulders.
but then certain players would just have shoulder pads.
Yeah, then some
Like
don't.
there's like one, yeah.
This
Like
nigga
on
they
the
got
Ravens, Ray Lewis is the only person that had shoulder pads on the whole team and a do rag.
made no sense. Oh, okay. Let's see what other levels we got. All right. Anything else you want to add for NFL Street?
No, I'm happy with just having it mentioned. That's all.
All right, cool,
But
cool.
this
A
is a
lot of
game I
different
would
levels.
want. Yeah, this is a game that I do want for nostalgia purposes. So I do want to like one day just look online, check eBay, and pick up a copy of this.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think like in my fantasy, as far as I mean my future house, I want to have like a game room where I buy back all the classic consoles. So it's
Oh
not
yeah.
like to get like the PS6 with all the past PS game
Mm-hmm.
capabilities. One thing I want to be able to like open
Yeah.
like you kind of like when the man cave. You show the
Yeah.
showcase and it's like, oh, I got
Oh
the
yeah.
PS1, I got the Sega Dreamcast, I got the
Bam.
PS.
Bam. So all right. So old dude just got knocked into the wall. You saw that as like a tackle. Go back just a
Oh
couple of
man,
seconds. It was right.
ooh.
Bam. See that? Yeah. So that was out of bounds. Getting knocked into the wall. Like, okay, so recently on Instagram, I saw a video. Somebody had made a giant Nintendo Switch, and it's the size of like a 50-something inch TV, and it automatically opens up and then comes down are a bunch of Nintendo games, like consoles.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like a Super Nintendo, like a Super Nintendo, NES, N64, GameCube. They would roll down, and then out of the bottom of the screen are ports for the controllers and the game input. So that they rewire them, so it's just the empty boxes up on the wall, and then the ports come out the bottom to plug the controllers in. It was a crazy looking setup. That's a man cave thing that looks great.
That's above and beyond. You gotta send me
Oh
that.
yeah.
You gotta send me that
Okay.
video or photo. Check that out.
Like this is the kind of game where Michael Vick would be unstoppable. And I'm not even sure if Mike Vick is even in it. He might be, but I don't remember him. But yeah, this is something you would good luck stopping Mike Vick in this game.
I'm pretty sure 04, early 2000s, that was Mike Vick, him and Donovan.
Oh yeah,
I mean, no,
04,
I'm thinking.
yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, 04.
Oh yeah, 04 or 05. He was the man. Yeah, he's definitely in this
Yeah,
game.
Atlanta Falcons. Let's go.
Man. Oh yeah. Yeah, never mind. He's definitely in this game.
Yeah. All right, cool. NFL Street, another legend title. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Comedian Gameplay Commentary. We're about to wrap it up pretty soon. Probably give them another 15 minutes or so. But feel free to check us out. Script Sundays TV Comedy Troupe. And I'm Hayward Crawford, comedy writer here with gadholland, comedian. And we are about to move on to Super Smash Brothers 64.
Okay.
So we got to just, we at least got to play the intro. But man, the vibes. Because a lot of these games, guys, those are watching. I haven't seen this in 10, 15, 20 years.
Dude, this had one of the best commercials.
Oh, the happy to.
Yeah, they all fight in the field.
Yes. Happy together.
And it's just like didn't somebody uppercut Yoshi?
What?
I think somebody uppercut Yoshi in a commercial.
Yeah, that was an epic commercial. That was epic, and everybody was like, it built so much anticipation. Like, oh my God, what is this?
No, yeah.
I'm gonna watch that commercial like right after this is over. But there was something about, I don't think I don't think there was a level of just fierce competition on the N64 game, maybe since either I think maybe Mario Kart maybe had the same look. I don't even know if that compared to this. Maybe GoldenEye
Hmm.
64. But this brought in a whole new level of just fierce competition on the 64.
Oh
Playing
yeah,
with a group of friends. This was just
oh
nothing
yeah.
could
No,
compare.
this was this was like fight break out in the basement level.
Oof. Oh, oh man. And then yeah, DK got big.
Oh yeah. Especially if you picked like Yoshi and would shit an egg out of like off the edge of a board. Oh no, we fight now. Cause Yoshi could eat you and shit you out as an egg. And I knew people who would get Yoshi and purposely position them. So when the egg came out, the egg would just fall off the edge of the board.
Mm. I got the commercial like on my phone right now. I had to. That took me back. Oh, the hammer. When you
Oh,
got the
that
hammer,
hammer.
it was a
Yo,
wrap.
panic running?
All you could do was
Just
run.
yeah.
Somebody got the hammer. There was nowhere to run though. The stage was
Oh
so
yeah.
small. You really had, unless the Zelda Castle. Zelda Castle was big enough to where you can actually like run, hide out. Everywhere else, you were just fucked.
I remember this game. Like, okay, so I played the GameCube Super Smash. I think that was called Melee,
Oh yeah,
which was the
Melee.
next
Melee
one.
was epic. And Melee was
Oh yeah.
epic too, but at the same time, I don't know, 64 was just that was the
Oh yeah.
original.
Well,
OG.
yeah, it's the original.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the Star Fox level. Yeah.
Hmm. No, I think this is Metroid. I want to say this is Metroid's level
Oh yeah, Metroid. Yeah.
because I think the Star Fox levels you actually play on Great Fox, like
Mm-hmm.
his actual ship.
Yeah, I'm just popping through all the different. I hated this level. This was the level I like. And when
That's
somebody chose
Kirby's.
this one,
Yeah.
I hated this level. I mean, this level is so lame, and all flowery, and it's literally just like 3 platforms.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see
Yeah.
that level.
That's definitely Kirby's level.
Yeah, this one was okay. I like this one a little better. But that other level, I just didn't understand. Like, it didn't take any time and effort to make that level good at all. Now, whose level is this?
Probably
What
Princess.
year?
If I was gonna
Oh,
guess, I'll say this is Princess's level. Princess Peach.
yeah. Okay. Oh no, this is Mario's level. Yeah,
Oh,
Princess.
this.
Yeah, you're right. Princess Peach. Yeah. Okay, here we go. The Zelda level. Now, what were some of your best memories from like maybe this level? Like, I don't know, like you played this game as much as I did, but just hours spent.
Oh no, Link had the best level.
I like Link the best. He was my best character. Him and Kirby. Like I
On
was
this
all
game,
about Link, and then
yeah.
people made fun of me because I was like so sweet with Link. They're like, "Oh, you can't really kill with nobody else." Then I finally started warming up to Kirby, of all people. But I was like all about Link.
Oh yeah,
I was,
Link. Yeah, yeah. Because Link had just too many weapons. He had bombs, arrows,
yeah.
shield. He had throw moves. Yeah, Link, and also Link had a really good get back on the board move, like that jump spinny sword to get back
Mm-hmm.
on the level. Yeah, he was
Yep.
really good.
Yep. I mean, I used to do okay with Pikachu as well. Link, Pikachu, Kirby.
Fox
Mm.
was too fast. I mean, Captain Falcon was too fast for my brain to keep up with. I couldn't like I would run myself off the board if like I played with Captain Falcon.
Mm. I can see that. I'm looking for. I like the Star Fox ship. You know, you
Yeah,
didn't really have a lot of places to run off to, but it was decent.
on the later versions of like an R wing will come and shoot at you mid match.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Hmm. Now this is funny, just fighting a bunch of Yoshis. I always
Right.
like that, like you have to fight a bunch of enemies and you could just one hit them off the board.
I hated this level though.
Wait,
Hated it.
all
I'm trying to find the
all the
Star
Yoshi
Fox
or
ship.
just the board itself?
The Star Fox level was on here for like 2 seconds. I can't find it. Look up. What was the name of the city in Super Smash Bros? Like the Pokemon City. What's that called? The
Oh,
Pokemon?
don't know. Because I
Uh,
keep thinking of F-Zero. And
yeah,
I forgot the
Saffron.
name
Here
of
we go. Yeah, Saffron City.
that. Okay.
Yeah. Just for the nostalgia. I think this was probably one of the best levels. And this level was just fun. You had all types of like challenges and crap getting thrown at you. Like you had things you could use to your advantage. Like you had there was
Oh
stuff
yeah,
going on.
Pokeballs would land. All yeah.
Yeah, you got ground to work with.
Yeah, this level was
So who are your
crazy.
best characters? You said.
Hmm?
Yeah. So who are your best characters? Your
On
top
this
two.
one,
Top two or three.
top two, this was Link and Mario on this one.
Link and
On
Mario?
Melee, I would always go with Ganondorf and
Well, that hammer, you just gotta run. There's nothing else to do but
yeah.
run. That's all I would do. Like, there's no fighting that hammer.
Oh, and
Tough
I
head.
like Donkey Kong too. He was a menace.
He was alright. Mario, it's a wrap. All right, last level, the Star Fox. Star Fox ship. Yeah, we can't look at Super Smash Brothers without, you know. Yeah.
Look at them fighting on top of Great Fox.
All right. Let's see here. No, I'm with the Star Fox.
Type in Super Smash Brother Great Fox. That'll
Great
probably do it.
Fox?
Yeah, Great Fox. That's the name of the ship.
No. A great G, like spell like that.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go. That looks close enough. See.
That's it.
Yes.
There you go.
4 foxes fighting each other. Man. I just need a little nostalgia in this level.
Good luck keeping
Now, this
up with
level
all of
was
this.
simple. I mean, it was only one platform. That's all you
Oh,
had.
yeah.
But it's still like I like this way more than that other little bubblegum Princess Peach thing.
Oh yeah. But if you got stuck on the back tail part, you was in trouble.
Well, there's a wrap, yeah. Yeah, stay the center.
Like, yeah, you always wanted to stay in the middle of the ship but in the middle of the ship is where everybody else is. So there was like no safe place to go. And if
That's
you
where the
went too
action's
far
at.
to the right,
Don't get on
if you
that
went
tip.
too far to the right, you'd be stuck over there.
Oh, see the lightsaber. That was my favorite move when you push somebody out and then you chuck
Yeah.
the lightsaber at them, and that like
Oh,
into the off into the
and they
off
were trying to
screen.
recover. Oh yeah,
That was epic. That was like my favorite. That was like my
that and throwing the
WrestleMania
baseball
move.
bat at somebody.
Yeah, or the baseball bat. Either way, you push them off that platform.
Yeah,
They do some sort of move to
and
jump
throw it
towards
and
it,
interrupt it,
and then you
and you
chuck
would
that boy
interrupt
in,
them.
and it's a wrap. Like
Oh, see,
they
now
see
they
it
see
coming.
the two of them down there in no man's land.
Yeah, like he could have chucked that up right there. Just
Yeah,
that was
and
my
ended it.
best move. Like you chucked it, and you were good and gone. All right, Gad. I think that's a wrap, man. Anything else you want to add for Super Smash Brothers 64 as we wrap up our episode?
Oh no, I'm happy. I'm happy.
All right,
I'm
all
happy.
right.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of Comedian Gameplay Commentary. We will be back again, once again, gonna maybe try and continue this once a month, maybe start getting it to maybe twice a month, depending on our schedules. We will be eventually live streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. Right now, we're live streaming on Twitch, and then we're going to have the YouTube episode up later this weekend. Appreciate you guys for viewing, participating, and we will talk to you guys next time. See ya.